everybody, please remove your panties, grab your calamine lotion and a good sunscreen because we're off to Nudist camp night tonight, only on USA's Real Wild Cinema. As a child, when I went off to camp, my mom made sure my name was obsessively sewn in the back of my panties. Yes, I'm Sandra Bernhard, and no, these aren't the same panties I wore to sleepaway camp, but thanks for asking. Thank God, tonight's Nudist camp films have been stripped of all the fat, so these cult classics are presented in a tight, more watchable, even mouth-watering movie morsels. Our first film is Blaze Starr, the original. Blaze was, of course, the legendary stripper-inspired casting for a film set in a nudist camp. Yet Blaze seems distracted as she laconically strips to the jazzy tune, "I'm a nature girl at heart." So notice the work of flesh-flaunting director Doris Wishman, one of the very few women working in this genre, and quite a salty character in her own right. Here's Blaze the original, in the flesh.
I understand Blaze missed the press conference this weekend and the cocktail party before that. You understand how important these functions are, especially when they're given in her honor. What's going on, Tony?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You're her agent, aren't you? Have Blaze here Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm going away for the weekend, and I want her contract signed before I leave.
I want to cooperate. You know that.
I know, honey. I know how hard you've been working. Try to have a little patience.
But I'm so tired. I'm so weary. I've reached the point where all I want is some privacy. A chance to be myself.
You know how important publicity is.
Can't you talk about anything but publicity?
What do you want me to talk about?
Look, there's my Starr. Oh, Miss Starr, can we have your autograph? Nudists. What a pleasure it must be to feel the sun burning into you instead of those hot lights at the studio. I wonder if it's really like that at a nudist camp. I won't have a word
I won't ever care. When I go back to nature, I'm a nature girl at heart.
My, it's so lovely here.
Yes, it is. Why are you interested in joining our group, and how did you hear about us?
Nature's where you'll find me, nature's where I'll be. With my woes behind me, unashamed and free. I'm going back to nature, back where I belong. Going back to nature, 'cause I love nature's song. And I'm a nature girl at heart.
Come in.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's nice to see you. But it seems to me you forgot something. Blaze Starr. Where is she? I gather she's not interested in renewing her contract. What's up, Tony? What's this all about? Where is Blaze?
What is it? What's happened?
It's about DW. I've got to talk to you.
Now look, I want to forget about DW.
This is the gratitude I get for all I've done for you. Without me, you'd be nothing. I've made you one of the highest paid actresses in the industry. I'm not going to let you throw everything away. Blaze, listen. Blaze.
Blaze!
DW.
So this is where you've been spending your weekends.
That's right. What about you?
I've been coming here for years. I find it very relaxing. Hi.
I was going to introduce you, but I see you've already met.
Old Blaze and I have known each other for a very long time.
I'll tell you about it when you take me to dinner.
Tonight?
That will be wonderful.
I'm going back to nature, back where I belong. Going back to nature, 'cause I love nature's song. And I'm a nature girl at heart.
Blaze keeps saying how she just wants to be left alone. So what does she do? Marches out of the house in a red cocktail dress and mink stole, straight to a nudie theater full of slimy, leering men in business suits. Good way to spend a little downtime. Next, scientists and astronomers have long pondered this eternal celestial question. If there are large-breasted women on the moon, what would they eat?
On Earth, we call this candy.
We have the answer when we come back on Real Wild Cinema. Our next film is another beauty from the vaults of Doris Wishman, Nude on the Moon. It's the story of two astronauts, the Professor and Jeff, who travel all the way to the moon in desperate search for big boobs. Apparently, they were pretty excited about the trip. Keep your eyes and ears peeled during the riveting takeoff. Jeff looks and sounds like he's blasted off as well. Enjoy Nude on the Moon.
Are you ready, Professor? Right. This is the biggest moment of my life. How about you?
Uh-huh. Well, here's luck.
Thanks, Professor. Ready for countdown. Okay, let's have it.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Are you all right?
Yes. What happened?
Seems we've made contact. We're not moving.
What? I'm afraid I fell asleep.
So did I. What a climax of the trip.
Come on.
Professor,
Jeff, it's incredible.
doesn't look anything like what we had imagined.
No one will believe us. Jeff, do you see? There seems to be a clearing over there.
This looks interesting.
Directly ahead.
Look at this wall.
Very curious.
Look, one stone upon the other.
Yes, I see. It could only have been made by a thinking entity.
I think you're right.
Well, we've gotten some highly useful data, Jeff.
Wait, Professor.
Jeff! Jeff!
I lost my love to a moon dog who dances upon a star. I lost my love to a moon dog, and my heart still bears a burning scar. I long for you, my little moon dog, a nymph in the pale moonlight. I pine for you, my little moon dog, for it's you who makes the moon so bright. For it's you who makes the moon so bright.
Wait. You go on with your work.
We don't have time now. Our oxygen's running low.
It doesn't matter. You
But-
go on. Go ahead. Hello. I saw you on the throne before. You must be the queen. I brought something for you. On Earth, we call this candy. Oh, no. You're not supposed to eat the paper.
It take us that long to get back to the ship. Now, come on.
I'm not going back with you.
What? Have you gone mad?
Maybe. Maybe I'm mad, but I cannot leave here. Don't you understand? I'm in love.
what an embarrassment for Jeff and the professor showing up on the moon in pastel Power Ranger outfits, when all the tan moon hunks look like Jack LaLanne on steroids. And I can just see their report to NASA. Made contact with bare-chested space vixen playing with a spigot. Huge turn-on. Coming up, The Garden of Eden, a wholesome nudist film or sleazy obscenity. The U.S. Supreme Court actually made a ruling. Next, it'll be your turn. Plus, Mamie Van Doren joins me right here. Back in a bit. Our next movie marks the beginning of a new chapter in film history. And our guest, Mamie Van Doren, was at the forefront of that legacy. Hi, Mamie.
Hi.
Take those glasses off, honey. Show us
My
those
Gautier.
gorgeous- Oh, Gautier, honey, you are turning it out.
Aren't they neat? They little lashes on the sides.
You are
You look great
unbelievable.
on-
Your Chanel, fabulous little strappy sandals. And
Well, so are you. I mean, you
Well,
look fantastic.
I'm inspired by you.
Oh.
Let's remember one thing, that Mamie is one of the 3 M's. Monroe, Mansfield, and Mamie.
Yeah, and I'm...
You were right there, honey. How
Yeah.
does it feel? How does it feel
Well-
to have blazed the trail for today's sex symbols?
You know what? You're aware of it. I didn't think anybody realized that. If it wasn't for the 3 of us, and some other blondes too, we really pioneered the whole glamour bit and the sexuality in movies, and we had a hell of a time doing it.
No kidding.
Yeah, I had a very serious time because I was considered the bad girl of the 50s. I did the Untamed Youth and High School Confidential, and they never got the Legions of Decency from Cardinal Spellman.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the story? Why were you singled out by Spellman and the watchdog group at that Hayes office?
Well, I was on a list. I know I was on a list because they didn't use me for television. I think is because I don't have the answer. I was before my time. I was way ahead of my time.
Well, that's a given.
Completely. In fact, I'm even ahead of the 90s.
That's incredible. Now, you know, they're still like blacking out breasts in these movies. What I mean, don't you think that's a little
I think
insane?
it's so silly. We had the Hayes office in those days, and when I was on the set, they were always standing over looking to see if I had any cleavage. Well, I've always been well endowed in my life. Since I was a little kid, I always have had large breasts. And it's very hard to cover because, you know, the cleavage starts up high.
Right.
And, you know, like yours, you got some...
Oh, yeah. Oh, honey, yeah, right.
You've got
it's
some
always been a
good
big problem for me.
No,
you know,
you've
right
got some
from
nice
the get-go.
No,
I entered puberty, and my breasts were just like, spilling out of my shirts.
No, but you got cute ones.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
really.
Wow. I'm going to save this piece of tape coming from Mamie Van Doren telling me I have cute breasts. I am like blown away. My career has really reached a new pinnacle. Thank you, Mamie.
Yeah, well, you're
That's
welcome.
beautiful.
But anyway, I had the Hayes office running, you know, coming in and looking, and it was very hard and uncomfortable because you're trying to do a scene, and they were there trying to cover you, and if I was in a
They were
bed-
actually on the set?
on the set.
Who were they, like these, like,
They were
uptight broads?
men.
Oh, I love that.
A bunch of men.
Here, Mamie, let me help you cover your breasts.
Oh yeah, oh, come on, let me shake them. Oh, I tell you, it was really something. But
I bet it was.
You know, I always, and then when I did the Garden of Eden, I played Eve, and along with Adam, and Adam got to show his navel, and they put a fern over my navel, and they put hair over my breasts, and
As long as they didn't have hair growing out of your breasts. That was probably a good thing.
yeah.
So sexuality was really
It was-
tightly controlled in the 50s.
Oh, really? I was so glad when the 60s came along, because it was a sexual revolution. It was, everybody burned their bras and just became themselves, you know.
There was major repression in the 50s
Yes.
on every level. Even though you were here in
I was-
Hollywood in the midst of what could have been the most
Yes.
cutting-edge thing happening.
I was a feminist completely.
I
I was never a professional wife. I was never that. I never married many men for money. I always worked hard, and it was really, that's the way it was.
And you always kept your own identity
Yes.
and your strength. Look at how many doors you've opened for women.
Oh God, yeah.
Maybe you wish you'd closed a couple before they got through. I know. I wish you had.
I know I'd done a lot of things that was really you couldn't believe what I've done. I mean, if you read my book.
Well,
But,
unfortunately, I didn't read your book, but tell me one or two
well,
things that you did
yeah,
that you
things
feel
like
were...
I got married when I was in my 30s to a 19-year-old baseball player, and
I remember
did,
that.
Yeah, I did things so things that they said this wasn't right. I didn't go to bed with the right producers, and I didn't do this.
Well, I hope you didn't go to bed with the wrong producers.
I did.
Well, maybe look.
In fact, I didn't even go to bed with producers. That was my problem, probably.
In other words, you were sleeping with people who were actually attractive to you.
Exactly.
Which was very cutting edge today or in any time.
Yeah.
In this town.
I love to you know, if I met somebody, I would go out, and I also carried my own condoms, which was unheard of.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Right on. All right, Mamie, don't move.
Okay.
We're going to show a little history here. One of the first films that was allowed to show nudity.
Sunning, it's so good for you. Let's go sunning, neath the sky of blue. Greet the sun every morn. Feel as free and happy as the day you were born. Let's go native, sun your cares away. Be creative, learn to live and play. Pretty flowers need the sun. This applies to everyone. Life's worth living when nature's giving happiness to everyone. So let's go sunning.
You know, Mamie, we were speaking before about how so many of the sex symbols from the 50s and 60s ended up as tragic figures.
Yes.
Now, why do you think you survived? What gave you the cut above to keep going?
Well, Sandra, I was born in the Midwest, South Dakota, and it's about the coldest state in the Union. And you want to just be from there. And it was rough in the very early days of my life. I was not born in a rich family. It was very hard. And I think that when you realize just to be a survivor of growing up in the young years, you can survive anything. And I watched Marilyn on the decline all the time, and I said, geez, if I could only talk to you and tell you that, you know, you're doing it the wrong way. I just saw her just go exactly the way she went. And Jane was unpredictable, of course, but I said, I don't want that to happen to me. And the incentive it gave it to me was to show people that I could survive.
Right,
And the more people put me down, the stronger I got. I just wasn't going to give in.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I did the movie, a movie called Three Nuts in Search for Bolt in the mid-50s, 60s. It was in the 60s with Tommy Noonan, and I did a nude beer bath scene. It was in Playboy magazine.
Wow.
It was one of the first ones. Second one, really. Jane did the first one, and then I did the second.
So you've just like managed to keep it in perspective.
Yeah, and if women posed in the nude, then I mean, you were considered bad. You were just, you know, you weren't given these dramatic roles. You had to be plain Jane and no makeup and ugly is the word, you know.
Like who said it? If you want the girl next door, go next door.
Oh, absolutely. No,
Exactly.
it's true. I mean, it seems like actresses that get Academy Awards, it's always for something that they're looking bad.
But you know what? The young audiences have rediscovered you. They want to keep you in their consciousness, and they look up to people like you.
Oh God!
I think much more than they do the girl who didn't take the chance. You know.
Oh, thank you. I've got a film script that my husband and I wrote, and it's out there now.
Really?
And being considered.
All right.
About what it's like for a glamorous woman in being at 35 in the 60s, and it's out there, hoping that somebody will
I bet somebody will.
Tell them, Sandra.
I'm going to tell them. I'm telling you right now. Do not pass up a chance.
It's a good one. It's really
to work
good.
with this lady.
Well, I'd play my mother in it.
Oh, that's so fabulous. Good for you. God bless you, honey.
Yeah.
Look, anybody would be very lucky to have you for a mother. Did you have children?
Yeah, I have a son, 40.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did it young.
You did it very young. You know, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show.
Oh,
What a thrill to meet you. You're beautiful on the inside, and the outside goes without saying, but everything radiates from within.
And you know, you're more glamorous in person.
That's true.
You really
Than
are.
I am on the streets. You're so right.
You're so fabulous.
I'm a mess on the streets,
Oh,
Mamie. I can't keep it together.
No, you're so cute.
I'm taking a cue from Mamie Van Doren. What a thrill. Thank you for coming,
Thank
sweetie.
you. Thank
Be
you,
well.
babe.
We'll see you again.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we'll do something
We want to.
theatrical together.
Okay.
Not that this wasn't. Next on Real Wild Cinema, another naughty film that Uncle Harry may still have stashed away in that closet somewhere.
What's all the yelling for? That's the folks having their hourly buckety-buckety. Buckety-buckety.
That's Buckety with a B. You have such dirty minds. And we have more of the movies you love next. I've posed before in the buff, but back in 1933 when director Brian Foy made Alicia Valley of the Nudes, it was illegal to show nudity. So he dressed it up like a quasi-educational report on nudism. And the intellectual audiences were apparently so starved for a glimpse of tight booty that the film stayed in release for the next 20 years. Here's Alicia.
Dr. King? Dr. King?
Oh, yes, honey.
There's a man here from the International News Bureau.
International?
Yes, a reporter. He wants to interview you on nudism.
Sounds very interesting. By all means, show him in.
Mr. Mack?
Thank you. I'm Mack from the International News Bureau.
I'm very happy to meet you, Mr. Mack. Will you be seated?
Thank you, Doctor. Very interesting, Doctor. Very interesting. But would it be asking too much to have you take me to a nudist camp?
Well, I'm sorry, but I'll not be able to get away today. Miss Kent, you'll be driving to Elysian Fields this afternoon. I wonder if you'd be kind enough to take our friend Mac along with you.
I'd be glad to.
Tomorrow, I hope to be able to join you there.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
I'm sure you're going to enjoy your first visit to a nudist camp.
Come along, Mr. Mack.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mac.
Alicia welcomes you.
Hello.
Hello? From now on, Hobart here will be your chaperone. I'll be seeing you.
Have you still got your clothes on? Come on, take them off. Make it snappy. Get out here with us.
Yeah.
Make it snappy.
Well, you're not leaving the camp so soon, are you?
Why, no. What makes you think that?
Well, you've got your clothes on. Hurry up and take them off. It is nice to keep me waiting for breakfast, is it?
I didn't understand. You haven't got the time on you.
Well, hardly.
Hello, Dr. King. Why, there's Dr. King. Hello, Dr. King.
Hello, Mac. Good morning, Doctor. Son, you're going to be embarrassed.
I've got to confess that I am embarrassed.
You don't grasp my meaning. You're going to be embarrassed if you keep your clothes on. You'll continue to be embarrassed, self-conscious, and the entire purpose of your visit here will be lost.
On the other hand, remove them, and in a very short space of time, you will feel like one of us. Surprising, isn't it? The same normal, homely activities you'll find people doing anywhere. "70 years old. He glories in that. What's all the yelling for? That's the folks having their hourly buckety-buckety. Buckety-buckety. Mm-hmm.
Well, son, how does it feel to be going around nude?
Well, that's funny. If you hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't realize I had my clothes off.
And that's exactly the reaction that everyone has after the first few minutes. Hello! Hello! Mac, you'll be leaving us shortly, and it has occurred to me that there might be a few more questions you might wish to ask.
Why, yes. What about coals? Don't the people here get them rather often?
No. Coals are practically unknown. Why, the American Indian never caught cold until the white man put clothing on him.
What you've done for me has been great. It's been a wonderful revelation. I promise what I write will be exactly what I've seen.
And I'm sure that what you've seen here has convinced you that nudists are not only kindly, but sane. Healthy people in both body and thought.
I thoroughly agree with you. Well, goodbye.
Did you see that woman playing the accordion? Ouch! That's got a pinch. And how about that guy wielding a saw just inches away from his screwdriver? It takes a very confident craftsman to be a nudist carpenter. Just ask Shorty. Next, that tried and true combination, nude women and furs.
Ah, what more could one ask for? Young ladies enhanced by mink.
Stay with us. There's lots more real wild cinema coming up. You know, all of these nudist camp movies have the same sort of message. Once you finally remove your clothes, you start to commune with nature and become more spiritual. That's what the people in our next movie, Nature's Sweethearts, believe. So during the oxymoronic nude fashion show, they modeled the fur of dead animals and used enough hairspray to blast a hole in the ozone layer. Here's Nature's Sweethearts.
A new innovation at this camp was the introduction of a fashion show. This greatly appealed to the female members. Ah, what more could one ask for? Young ladies enhanced by mink. But neither minks or ermine can do much for these beauties, who are so fair of face and form that they can even put fine furs to shame. Yes, we see the beauties of nature everywhere, in the fields, the mountains, the trees and streams, the rock formations. Nature is always painting a very pretty picture, and one cannot help but wonder, if Mother Nature can help all of these ordinary things, what could it do for us humans? Being a model, I couldn't refuse when asked to help out with the fashion show.
Love those sleazy greasers and dark shades looking up the girls' fur. They wouldn't even let guys like that in nudist camps during the 30s. For proof, take a look at Nude Ranch, where free-spirited females in an all-girl camp play a rousing game of topless horseshoes. Ouch.
rooster gay used to pass her way, but she tossed her pretty head. Little red hen cried he, will you marry me? The little red hen answered no, for I've seen you race all the chickens you chase, and a man out of wind is no go. You're like all other men, said the little red hen. I'm afraid that it can't be a match, for a bird out of breath is a fate worse than death. I want eggs that are chicks when they hatch.
So say farewell then to the little red hen, for she is an angel by now. She did more than her share, but an egg that is square is some trick, but you gotta know how.
Next on Real Wild Cinema, more ripe fruit than you can eat.
Fruit or girl?
Don't lose your sense of humor now. Stay with me, darlings. We'll be back in a flash.
You will join the Real Wild Cinema Fan Club. You will be dazzled by a catalog of hundreds of uncut, uncensored, outrageous movies that we can't show on TV. Send $5 for a membership card, catalog, and newsletter, or order the Real Wild Cinema t-shirt for $15, plus $4.95 shipping and handling, and get your membership for free. Send check or money order to Real Wild Cinema, P.O. Box 65073, Seattle, Washington 91155. You will join the Real Wild Cinema Fan Club.
Check out these fantastic trailers. I'm dying to see the first one. Eve or the apple? The piece of fruit or the girl? That's always my big quandary, and I was here looking for answers. Keep your eyes peeled for the charred banana on a skewer, painful metaphor, or just a snack treat?
Fruit or girls? This is the question in the mind of Toulouse Delouse, a Greenwich Village artist who loves to paint apples, fruits, vegetables. When his manager tells him he should paint girls and takes him out to see the finer young things in life, a great conflict develops in his mind. Should he paint fruit? Should he paint girls? The picture runs at a rapid pace when he has hallucinations and sees the cute young things around him in the altogether. All this happens while a crazy dame tries to steal the cameraman. In his dream, Delouse sees a nudist colony and pays no attention to anything but the fruit in the trees. You won't want to miss this one. Bring your seatbelts. This one takes off. And we do mean takes off. It is recommended only for adults and those broad-minded enough to enjoy the brightest, spiciest, and most uninhibited comedy in years. You will want to watch The Apple. The fun is in the core. All filmed in blushing color. See Eve or The Apple.
Orgy of the Golden Nudes.
Is Madam awake?
Do you always walk in on people like that?
Forgive me, madam. I took the liberty to prepare your bath.
Shock after shock, as a sex-mad slayer terrorizes a city and baffles the law.
Madam should not have come here.
See the orgies of the wild parties that trigger a human being into a crazed killer. See the nude models enjoying the pleasures of life, little realizing the terrible fate that awaits them at the hands of a sex fiend. For a thrilling, chilling experience, don't miss Orgy of the Golden Nudes.
Got to get out of here. I'm late to meet Mr. Barebottom. We're going to play a harshly competitive game of buckety-buckety, but hopefully I'll be dry by next time, right here on Real Wild Cinema. Good midnight to ya.